Happy Monday, Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you. The SEC awards have begun rolling in. Tennessee racks up a few today as the coaches have voted. The coaches have spoken. Dalton Knecht is your SEC Player of the Year. Zakai Ziggler is your SEC Defensive Player of the Year. Of course, they are both first team selections as well. Jonas Aidoo also honored as a second team selection on the All SEC second team. And then Ziegler and Aidoo were on the All SEC defensive team as well. So big honors for all these guys. The work they put in this year, the efforts they put in has been honored. It's been deserved. Can't say enough along the way about these guys. As Knecht just from the time SEC play has started, from game one, basically, the guy's just been on fire. I mean, he's been great from the get go ever since Michigan State game, the exhibition at the beginning of the year. He proved he belonged then because a lot of the questions they asked him a lot of questions after today, and when he proved he belonged at this level because he actually has outproduced what he did at Northern Colorado. Funny enough, you go from the mid major to the SEC and you become more productive. And he talked a lot about it. He's learned more defensively. He's learned more, he said, from this staff in how to basically take one step and make a move off of that. So that's been big for his development, as we've seen how quick he is to the basket this year. But he averaged over 25 points per game in SEC play, and he's not had single digits in any SEC game this year. I mean, he capped it off Saturday with almost leading a comeback against Kentucky, a game where Kentucky shot the lights out in that, but Tennessee still had it down to a 3-point game at the end with a chance to tie it. Still say the right guy didn't take the shot, but James got a good look at it, and when you get those looks, you have to take them. So can't fault him for taking it, but I don't know. If there's time left, I want the guy who scored 40 taking that shot. There's no doubt to me who takes that shot. But, from the Mississippi State game, you start out with Ole Miss. The Mississippi State game, they lost, but Knecht, that was when it kind of started, as we'd seen him take a little bit of a spell back. He had the game at North Carolina where he scored so much, got hurt, and then he had a couple quiet games in there. Once SEC play started, though, I mean, he has rolled ever since. That Mississippi State game, Barnes gave him kind of the keys to the car. He took off with it. Georgia, big, in that comeback, win over Georgia as well. But a well-deserved award for Dalton Knecht. I mean, the Tennessee fan base loves him. It's too bad we don't have more of him. But what I like is he has come to Tennessee, and he's going to leave a probable lottery pick. Probable. I don't know for sure on it. Sometimes I know they hold the age. They would rather take the sexier choice, so to speak, the younger 18-year-old coming out. But in terms of production, what this guy did in the best conference in America this year, it is the best basketball conference in America. To go along with the best football conference, to go along with the best baseball conference, to go along with the best women's basketball conference. I mean, you could go on and on. The SEC is night and day, head and shoulders above the rest. It doesn't matter what it is. And now they have caught up with and surpassed the ACC as the top basketball conference as well. Of course, the proof's going to be in the pudding. What happens when we get to the NCAA tournament here in less than 2 weeks? But, they'll have to put up or shut up to prove that they're the best conference. But I think a lot of teams in this conference, and we'll preview the SEC tournament tomorrow, but I think you're going to see at least 6 teams in this conference that are capable of making big runs when we get to the tournament. But, well-deserved. I'm kind of getting repetitious now, but well-deserved for Dalton Knecht. And then, switching to Zakai Zeigler, SEC Defensive Player of the Year. Rick Barnes has talked about it. He said, I don't know how this guy's not on the Cousy award list. He said, I don't get it. Don't understand it. He says, this guy does everything we need him to do. And the impressive thing about it is this time a year ago, he was out with the ACL injury. Testament to him for hard work and coming back. A well-deserved, hard-earned award for Zakai Zeigler and the hard work that he's put in. Just coming back from that injury, but not only coming back from it, but coming back at a higher level than he was before. Playing awesome defense, leading this team, being the floor general that this team needed. It's a floor general Tennessee teams have not always had. I mean, you had a pretty good mix a couple years ago with Ziggler and Kennedy Chandler, which I like pretty well. Jordan Bone was really good, but there's some of these teams over. You think back to the Bruce Pearl teams. How many times did they have that steady, strong point guard presence? Not many times. Not many times. You had some guys who could do things at the point occasionally, but just a lot of inconsistency there. Under Rick Barnes, man, you're looking at with 3 years of Jordan Bone, now going on your third year of Ziegler, including Kennedy Chandler. You've had 6 straight years of strong point guard play on this team. And that's been a big key in turning this program around the way Rick Barnes did. When you had guys like Pat Forty wondering why Tennessee fans were cracking on Conzo Martin and saying, well, trying to insinuate he's better than Rick Barnes, talking about the Donnie Tyndall and Conzo and Rick Barnes hires in comparing Conzo Martin. But, just a dumb opinion, for lack of a better term, because Rick Barnes is a better coach than Conzo Martin. There was no doubt about it. He had to rebuild basically a program from Martin and the Donnie Tyndall disaster year, even though I thought Donnie Tyndall was a good floor coach. I'm curious what he would have done. But, it worked out pretty well for Tennessee basketball. Worked out very well, as a matter of fact. And then, last but not least, Jonas Aidoo, just the strides he's made this year. There were times last year I didn't know that he got enough playing time. I thought, he did some good things, but it's kind of that sophomore year where good game, down a little bit. Kind of what you're seeing out of Awaka this year, even though I thought Aidoo did more last year out his sophomore year. But, well-deserved for him. He had a lot of he was a big contributor to this SEC championship this year. And, yeah, there's times we said we need more out of him. But, this Tennessee team is not SEC champions without Jonas Aidoo. They're not SEC champions without Zakai Zeigler. They're not SEC champions without Dalton Knecht. There's other guys that played their roles. The fifth-year seniors had their moments. Inconsistent. Jemai Mashak, he did his things. Unsung hero, definitely with him. Jordan Gainey did things. Inconsistent, but he did things to contribute as well. Now, Awaka had his moments as well. But these three guys, they got their due today from the coaches. And, that's the one to me that shows the most, because it's basically your peers in respect that are voting those awards. They're giving him that respect. So hats off to these three guys. Now the proof's going to be in the pudding. How do you perform in Nashville this week in a tournament that in the past has been called the Kentucky Invitational? Not been so much here recently, but actually I'm trying to think back. Maybe Kentucky. I can't remember who won it last year off the top of my head, but normally when you go to the SEC tournament, you got to look at Kentucky as that favorite. How's Tennessee going to fare in it? Frankly, if it wasn't for the number one seed, I wouldn't care if they got bounced on Friday, but you're playing for that number one seed. There's a lot to play for. You still got Arizona in play, and Tennessee and Arizona slip up. North Carolina handles business. North Carolina could jump ahead of them. The easy thing for Tennessee to do this week is go win 3 games, and you're without a doubt the 4th number one seed in the field. But, congrats to Knecht, Ziegler, Aidoo. Well-earned, well-respected. I don't think Rick Barnes will win Coach of the Year. It's got to go to Lamont Paris. I think it's a no-doubter, but Barnes has had a great year too. If he won it, it would be deserved, but it wouldn't be deserved over Paris and the job that he's done, though. But I'll be back with you with SEC preview tomorrow. I'll do a post game for baseball tomorrow night as well. But, thank you guys for your support. Thank you for checking out this channel. I can tell you on it. I'm not going down a rabbit hole, but this will be the best basketball channel and the best baseball channel that covers Tennessee. Not 24/7. It's not VolQuest. It's not Rocky Top Insider. One of these. Your best podcast type show. This will be the best. It's the most consistent with. I hope you'll stay with me. Share it out as as the week goes ahead. Friday, we'll see where it goes. I'm going live all week. I'm going live every game the rest of the year on it. But my name's Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. As always, go Vols.